Okay, welcome back to the Woodstock Guitar Guy. This is our uh, episode number 7, and we're going to be talking about modding, modifying, moderating, modeling. We're going to talk about modding guitars. Now, I started out on this particular journey about 5 years ago, and I jumped right in with a kit, and I built a beautiful Firebird from a kit, and finished. I wanted a white Firebird, so I made a white Firebird. I'll show it to you at on our next episode. But it was a tremendous amount of work, and took a long time, and I made a lot of mistakes and had to go back, a lot of sanding, a lot of refinishing, a lot of doing it over, on and on and on and on. It turned out great, but I've learned, or I've developed a whole completely different philosophy about this particular quest, and realized that if I could just buy a body pre-finished with a good neck, and then just put what I want in it for pickups and electronics, I can be up and playing a lot faster than if I'm refinishing raw wood and trying to measure and fit the bridge properly and get the neck in there straight, and it's complicated. So much easier to go on eBay and buy a King. Here it is. It's a King. For $185. It's mahogany body, solid, beautiful. I think it's 2-piece. Lovely finish, great color. You don't see this color very often. It looks like an offset telly layout. I just saw on Reverb a made in Japan offset telly from like the 1990s, and it was in the thousands of dollars. This was $185, and it came with, okay pickups, but that wasn't why I bought it. I bought it for the body, and just saved me all that trouble of having to refinish and buff and polish and yada yada yada, the whole 9 yards. So. As a bonus, I got the neck. The neck on this guitar is wonderful. I have to say, I even asked him when I bought the guitar, online. I didn't see it until I bought it. And I even asked him, how's the neck? And he said, well, we haven't had any complaints. So I said, okay, great, let's try it. And the neck has turned out to be the real surprise of this whole thing. It's roasted. It looks like roasted mahogany on the back, and it's got a what looks like a rosewood fretboard. It has a little dye on it because it gets on my fingers. Beautiful fret job on this thing. The only thing I had to do, I had to polish the frets, oil the neck. They all came out beautifully in terms of no high frets, no dead frets, none of that jazz. Tuning pegs actually are decent. They're the cheapies, and they keep this guitar in tune. That's all I ask of a set of tuners, is to keep my guitar in tune, and these do it. So far they're staying. But I pulled the pickups, changed the bridge. The original bridge came with like what's called an ashtray bridge, and it had high sides, and then the grubs or slugs on the bridge pieces here were really high. They can cut your finger on them, So for $16, I got a new bridge, and it came with the Wilkinson brass set pieces here, and I dropped in a G&L MFD pickup, which is the last design for Leo Fender before he passed away. It's a beautiful pickup. I mean, I played this on a friend's Blues Boy and I fell in love with it. So for $75, G&L will sell you a pickup, and you just put it in your guitar, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, that only cost me $75. It didn't cost me like 1,000, or 1,500 or whatever. This is an Allen Entwistle P90. In the neck, I've got the Allen Entwistle T-shirt to prove it. I'm a fan. I really like his pickups. I haven't had one yet that I didn't like, and I have about, 7 or 8 different varieties. And you heard this guitar and saw me playing it on the way into this video, and I'll play a little bit on the way out. But the one thing I wanted to throw in before we kind of play a little bit here is also the bolt-on neck story. Okay, all the Fenders are bolt-ons. A lot of guitars are bolt-ons, and I've gotten some bolt-on guitars in here, new, not expensive, but new, that just didn't sound all that great. That they were dead. They had a kind of a dead thing, and I started looking around, fishing around YouTube, and I found this guy who, he said, here's what you do. You string the guitar up, okay? You get them up to pitch, and then you get a screwdriver, and you go on the back to the plate, okay? And you turn a quarter turn, no more, no less, exactly 1/4 turn for each screw, okay? And what'll happen is you'll hear a creak. You'll hear like a skirt, It's the sound of the neck actually being drawn tight to the body with the tension of the strings, okay? And when they crank these guitars out in the factory, wherever it may be, Indonesia, China, Japan, wherever it is, California, Mexico, they're putting these necks on before the strings go on, obviously, and no one is going back to actually, fine tune it or whatever. They do the best they can, and they don't always hit the mark. This little trick, and I've done it on all of my bolt-ons. Okay, I've done it on all of them. It works. It totally works. What happens is the neck resets, adjusts, gets tight in the pocket. Then you tighten the screws back up, 1/4 turn. You're ready to go. And what happens is this. You get really nice sustain. And it makes the connection between the neck and the body a little bit better than it was when the guitar came out of the box, okay? And I've been able to upgrade the whole feel, the playing feel of these inexpensive guitars just with that one little trick, the reset. It's called the luthier's trick. And there now you know. And so there we are. It's again, my philosophy on this whole thing is I'm a player. I got into this because I play guitars, and learning how they're built and how they're wired and all the different kinds of pickups and necks and tuners. All of that has been absolutely great. Refinishing guitar bodies that are basically unfinished. I can do it, but I'd rather not, just out of expediency. I'd like to be able to get going here. Now, let me show you another guitar that here's one in process, okay? This is an Ert Telly that I just picked up and stripped, okay? It's mahogany body, beautiful mahogany body. I think it's 2-piece, might be 3. And it's got a maple veneer top. because it's got that tiger stripe. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there's a little bit of it there. But the beauty of this guitar is it's got the neck, and they're famous for these necks. Okay, they do a really, really beautiful neck. This one in particular, it's all maple, and it's roasted. Okay, and it's matte finish. There's no gloss on this at all. It's got a really nice smooth finish. It starts at 7 1/4, contours up to 9 1/2, which I don't have a neck here that goes to 7 1/4. I just don't have one. I wanted that just for the experience. So this came, it was $200. I found a good deal on Facebook, somebody getting rid of it new. And pickups were fine. The whole guitar sounded great. I played it. It was like, it's a $200 guitar. Pull the pickups, pull the bridge. The bridge was also that ashtray style, high sided affair, which I don't like the high sides. And so I got a Seymour Duncan 1/4 pounder going in here. And then I've got a Allen Entwistle. Oh, here he is. Allen Entwistle. Going in here, a mini humbucker. And then the wiring is upgraded to 500K because both pickups want 500K wiring and not 250K. If you're using single coil pickups, then of course it's going to be 250K. So that's all going in here. Came with a white pick guard. I'm putting a black one on. It's going to look really sharp. It's super light. Oh man, there's hardly anything to this thing. If you've ever held a heavy telly, this is not a heavy telly. It is. It's not heavy at all. I did the same thing with the adjustment before I stripped it. I had the strings on it. I was really blown away by how the sustain just blossomed out of this guitar after I pulled the neck in a little bit, So there you have it. This will be done by the next show. We'll bring this on. We'll do sound samples and all of that sort of thing. What I'm trying to do here is get a sample or an example of all these various pickup designs. I've got one here I just put pearly gates into that I'm still fooling around with, and I'm trying to get just a real cross section of different pickups and find the ones I really like. Now that G&L in the bridge is fabulous. I would take that over a Fender Telecaster pickup any day of the week. There goes my phone again. But anyway, with that, we're gonna call it. I'm gonna play a little bit of music going out, and hit the like, hit the share, hit the join, hit the subscribe. Tell your friends, share it, do all of that stuff. My plan is to make about 10,000 of these, and this is number 7. So we have a long journey ahead of us. I got a lot of guitars to go through, and that's about it. So have a great one, and we'll see you next time. Woodstock Guitar Guy, Michael Beach.
Bye.